Welcome back to Up North Kitchen. Today we are making donuts from biscuits. This is an old Girl Scout trick I've heard, and so let's get to it. Okay, so for our donuts we're going to be making chocolate ganache and cinnamon sugar toppings. So this is 1 cup of heavy cream, and I heated that up in the microwave for 2 minutes. And this is also 1 cup of chocolate chips. So you just pour the heavy cream over the chocolate chips, and you're going to cover that with plastic wrap to let it steam in there and melt the chocolate chips before you stir it up. Okay. Maybe if the plastic wrap cuts, there we go. I'm just special. Okay, and then here I have a 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and we'll just whisk that up. And off screen I started to preheat my oil just because it takes a little bit to heat up. And we want that to reach about 350 degrees. And so the oil is about 2 inches deep in our Dutch oven, and it's vegetable oil that we're using to deep fry. So this has sat for long enough, and the heavy cream's pretty hot. So to start the ganache, you start in the middle of your chocolate and just do little swirls to fully incorporate it. And then once you see that chocolate starts to show in the middle of the bowl here, you'll work out to the outer edges. So once that happens, I'll show you. You can see that in the middle here that the chocolate has started to melt, so I'm just going to start stirring in larger circles to really incorporate the rest of the chocolate. And you just want to stir this until everything is combined and it will look like smooth chocolate syrup at the end. You can see now that we're really starting to come together here. It's looking really good. And this will also thicken up a little bit once it cools down. Alright, so we're going to set this aside now and work on our donuts. Alright, so I'm just using some Gran's biscuits, buttermilk biscuits, and then you can just deep fry a whole biscuit if you wanted to make like a stuffed donut. Otherwise, I use this piping tip to cut out a hole in the middle because I don't have any circular cutters like this that are small, but if you do, you can use one of those. So I'll just open these up and show you me cutting the donuts. And this part I don't like doing because sometimes it explodes and it scares me. Other times I have to hit it on the counter. Like this time. Or not. Beautiful. Alright, so I just spread out my donuts like this. The cameraman's laughing at me. And I just go in the center of the donut and cut out my hole. And I deep fry these little biscuits too. Oh. This is just going so well. These little biscuits too. So that's fun. That was a fun time. Oh my goodness, I am struggling. And my oil is pretty much heated up to 350 now, and so I'm just going to start dropping these into the oil. Place these into the hot oil. You don't want to drop them in there too hard. And I'm going to do a couple at a time. Like 3 at a time is probably good to start. So So now we just wait for these to fry up. Sometimes, especially with the donut holes, they will flip on their own. But you just wait till you can see a nice golden ring on the donuts. Sometimes they'll flip by themselves, sometimes you gotta help them along, so I will show you that in a moment. Golden brown, so I'm gonna flip these ones over. And we'll just wait for that to golden up again. I have a tray here with paper towel on it to drain the grease off of the donuts a little bit. And while they are still hot, I will dip them in the cinnamon sugar, but I'll let them cool down a little bit before I glaze them with the chocolate. Alright, I'm going to take those off. And then I'll dip them in the cinnamon sugar. I'm going to flip them over. They're still very hot, so be cautious of that. I'm going to use my tongs here instead of burning my fingers off. And I like to coat the whole thing in the cinnamon sugar. And I prefer the cinnamon sugar over the chocolate glaze actually, but really it's your preference on what you like the best. And I'll save this guy for the chocolate glaze. And let's see how that's coming. So that's thickened up a little bit more now. And I will dip it in the chocolate glaze. There we go. And we'll just continue on with the donuts and talk to you in a moment. Alright, so here is the finished product. Whoa! Losing my donuts. Alright, here's the finished product. We have some donut holes here, and then our cinnamon sugar donut and our chocolate glazed donut, which looks delicious. So I'm going to try a bite of each for you. I think I may just go in for a donut hole. Beautiful cinnamon sugar and light and fluffy on the inside. I love it. And now the chocolate one. For my ganache, I use semi-sweet chocolate chips, so it's not going to be super sweet. It's going to be a nice little bit, I don't want to say bitter, but it's not going to be overly sweet. And that one's just as good as well. And it's all over my face, I can feel. But I would definitely recommend giving this a try. It's a nice, easy, sweet breakfast for the morning. Doesn't take super long. So give it a go. And you can find the recipe for it on our Facebook, Up North Kitchen. And the recipe will also be typed out there for you and in the description below. See you later.